ask you to quickly introduce yourself.
Alright.
Hello, are you still there?
Yep.
Well, tell us a bit
Do I
about
just
yourself.
start off?
Yeah, just say who you are
Alright.
and where you want coaching.
Hello. My in-game name is I lost my account, and I'm here for coaching because I want to improve at the game, but I do play this league casually.
Alright, cool. So, first thing I would like to do is just play this through at times 4 speed again. But this time you actually commentate to me what you think during the game and what you think is going on from your perspective and what you're like thinking at every step, okay? And we're gonna do this until like minute 13 roughly.
Alright.
Do you think you can do that?
Yep. I was. Hold on.
Right.
The camera's not going to the.
Yeah, you have to pay attention not to control the camera manually, otherwise it'll stop being centered on yourself.
I'll just do this. So I saw my teammate getting ganked at top, so I came in for a counter gank.
Yep. Really good awareness.
We won that trade, and then I was getting scuttle, and then I went mid to try to help out, but I was late. Well, not late, but we couldn't get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just went for scuttle because it was free, and I saw Trundle somewhere else, I think.
Yep, good.
So, and then I hovered mid for a bit, in case I was looking for an opportunity to gank here, but we didn't succeed, but it was alright. And then I saw Trundle later. Actually, no, I didn't.
You can turn on your vision, then we know for sure. It's bottom left, where you click all. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, here I just wanted to go back to my jungle and farm a bit more because I didn't have a lot to do and I couldn't go top at this point. I went for Dragon because I saw their Trundle was top, and it was free Dragon because the bottom wave was pushed in as well.
Yep.
I went to steal their blue buff as well because I think I had enough time, which I did. I was thinking about going to gank bottom, and I saw ADC back there, so I just went to get blue buff a red buff first.
Right.
Oh yeah, vision Pike. I didn't see Pike go towards mid, and oh wait, no, he ganked earlier. Never mind. I went to gank bot, but I didn't notice that they had vision here. I went to gank mid, but then I just went back towards my jungle because mid wave was pushed in a lot. And I realized Trundle might have been getting Rift Troll, but he just placed the control word there, and I went back. Oh, and then I saw Trundle. I figured we could win that. It was an even trade. But then Vigar had to go back, so mid wave was doing better. I went for this again just to clear my jungle, and then yeah.
Do you think you could have gone topside here?
Yeah, now that I look at it, I probably should have gone topside. But I wasn't paying attention. I missed that Q, which was unfortunately the reason we couldn't get that kill, but it was alright. And then team fight happened here. When I respawned, I went topside because I knew that they would get dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was going to farm these, but then I skipped them because I saw that Yorick was engaging.
Yep.
But I was too ambitious here, and he couldn't secure the kill.
Right, you can stop at this point.
Alright.
Okay, so what I'm getting from you for now is that you have a really good understanding actually of cross-mapping, and that when you see the enemy jungler somewhere, you can take something on the other side, and you have a very decent like early pathing. So I'm actually pretty happy with the first 8 minutes and how they went. What I would just like to do is go back to the first fight where you fought in mid against Trundle, if you remember. What was like minute 8 or something?
I don't remember what it was, I'm sorry.
Let me just scroll around until you find it. It was the one where you like fought Trundle and then Warwick came and you traded 1-for-1.
Oh.
We can also just win the game quickly, that's fine too. Goddamn. If only it was that easy every time, no?
Let me relaunch the replay.
What was that? Zeri or what?
Smell of science.
Jeez, these random sounds are so funny, man. Yeah, this one.
Alright.
I want you to just look through this fight and the next two, and then tell me if you see any similarities in terms of what went wrong.
You're in my kingdom now.
I think I was too ambitious here and wanted to win that, or like wanted to fight.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
But
yeah,
it was
of course we always want to fight, right? If we think we can win. But go to the next one and the one after.
Team fight. I think before this fight occurred, I queued or tried to queue, but there were 3 people mid, and it was just me and Warwick. So I don't think we could have won if it weren't for bot lane.
Yeah, I agree. Alright, last one.
Behold the horrors of the isle. It fouls upon touch. What's one more grave? Won't you join them?
Yeah, I think I got too greedy here as well. I was level 8.
Right. So, in my mind, these three plays have very similar problems at their core. Would you be able to take a guess at what that may be?
Being too greedy?
I mean, yeah, but that's very generic, right?
Yeah.
I could just end the session right now and tell you, "Ooh, stop being less greedy," and then you're gonna walk away a smart man, right?
But that's not what we're here for, right?
Yep, that's indeed not what we're here for. So, if you go back to the first one again, what I'm always seeing is you go for some gank, and then some guy comes and fights you out of it, and then enemies have numbers advantage or fight advantage for some other reason, and then they win the fight. That's what I'm seeing. So this one is a bit different, but here you kind of quote-unquote gank Trundle, and then Veigar joins. And by the way, if Veigar has mana here, this fight is even more doomed, but he doesn't, so you at least trade 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Then if you go to the next one, go a bit before, like 15 seconds back. Yeah, look, here's where you're trying to gank Veigar, and then Pike comes and counter ganks.
I did notice Trundle coming,
Yeah, exactly.
but
And then you stay
I
to play
even
it
think
still,
that-
but they have man advantage again, right?
yeah.
And then last one. I mean, here it's already kind of over, but here you try to kill Yorick, which is in itself already pretty ambitious, since he's 2 levels up and Gangplank can't really help you. And
Yeah.
I think it's kind of close whether you get to kill him or not. If Trundle doesn't come, but since Trundle is there, it's especially doomed. Because he can just
Yeah.
kite you. So, the kind of general theme I'm seeing with you here is that when you gank, you're in a certain state of mind, right? You're in the state of mind, okay, I'm ganking right now, they have to be afraid of me, and I probably win this fight. And I have the feeling that with you, that's something which is a lot more in your mental than it should be. If that makes sense. I think when you gank, you should be a lot more aware of what enemy can do to counterplay you, and then accordingly be respectful to that. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Right. So, if that's something you understood, then we need to now figure out how we can make sure you actually fix that, right?
Yeah.
What would you think, knowing yourself better than me right now? What can we do to ensure that you remind yourself in game to actually, like, remind yourself of checking what counterplay options enemy have when you gank?
Get vision first, like know where the enemy jungler is, or like if people are missing from the map, then think of the possibility that they could be coming.
Okay, so I'm thinking of something which could help you, like, think about it, not something which is actually physically in game. I don't even care that much if you have vision on the enemy jungler or not. That's not what matters to me. What matters is that you have the thought that he could be there. And then at that point we're already winning, because even if you don't have vision, then you are aware that he could be there. And as long as you think of that, you can plan with it and play the game. It's just really bad if you get surprised by it. So what I want to change is something that makes you think of it, not something like concretely in game. So like help you get something to hook it to, if you will. We could just say every time you gank, you automatically try to associate that with thinking of, okay, what can enemy do to counter me, for example. But that's like a bit simple. I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah, it's more of like associating. Every time I see an opportunity to gank, I have to look at the mini map and check like where players were last seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can try that. But we can do better, come on. Have another idea how we can make sure that in game you never ever forget this. Never. How do we do that?
I guess it's usually just coming with a lot of experience and just doing this over and over. But
I mean, yeah,
that's-
but we want to cheat the experience, right? That's what we're here for.
yeah,
I want to spare you the time of playing 100 hours of games before you like get used to it the hard way, if you will. And so
Mhm.
we can just get a bit creative and try to figure some ways out. So one I always like to recommend is you take a little sticky note and put it on the bottom of your screen, like right next to the minimap, for example, is mine. And then you write on it check counterplay. And what that does is, at least at the beginning of the game, you will think of it, right? Because you can look at it. And then you have a chance of remembering it whenever you look at minimap, depending on how far your eyes wander.
yeah,
That's
I'll
one
do
idea.
that. That's a good idea.
And I would also share with you a little theory, which is pretty much you have a few like points where when you get into a game where you change your mindset a bit. So when you are in champion select, you think in a very different way than the way you do when you're in game. And like, for example, ganking someone, let's say. And so there's some like transition points where while you're in champion select, you may still be thinking of what we're talking about right now. As soon as you're in game, you have changed like your mindset a bit to the point that this part of how you think now doesn't remember that anymore, if that makes sense. So we just need a few reminders along the way to make sure that when you switch into different modes of thinking, that you always like retain it if possible. And I think the note is one thing that helps with that, but I would like to have one or two more to like really make sure that you don't forget it. Do you have any other ideas of what could be little reminders which help you? This is something pretty personal, so I also can't tell you what's best for you right now. That really depends on your experience and like what matters to you.
Maybe getting like a constant reminder just to like check mini map and stuff.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
I could play.
we
There was
can
this
do
one audio.
we can do a beep tone. That's also fine. Depends what interval you want. You could maybe do 1 minute with this kind of thing.
Yeah. Like 1
Right.
minute 30 seconds is good.
Right, sure. So every 1 minute and 30 seconds, you're gonna think of whenever you gank, watch out what counterplay enemies have. Right. So now we have sticky note and timer. Is that enough for you? Do you think?
That's enough to help me improve. Like a bit, yeah.
Well, do you want one more or no?
If you can think of one more, yeah. I'm not very creative.
Well, let's see. Oh, come on, everyone's creative. We just talk ourselves into thinking that we're not. That's really, in my opinion, one of the most astonishing skills of the human being. We can talk ourselves into anything, and it'll almost be true if we say it often enough. But anyway, so I was thinking we could also associate it with some event like happening in game. So what I would suggest you do is you condition yourself to always think of that. For example, when you press sweeper, okay? And actually, do you know what like is referred to as conditioning? Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, it's like a Pavlov thing where.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. So what I would want you to do is go into practice tool right now. You don't need, or after I finish this recording rather, and then you just run around, clear your jungle a bit, and then pretend like you're ganking and press sweeper. And whenever you press sweeper, I want you to think of, okay, what can enemy do to counter gank me?
Alright.
Does that make sense? And then you do it like
Yep.
5 times, 10 times, until you get used to it. And that way we have like 3 insurances that you remember to check counterplay before you get ganked.
Yeah, I'll
Alright.
do that.
Alright, perfect. I think I'm happy with this. What about you?
I think I'm happy with that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.